This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for the month of October 2024. October begins with relationship resets and ends with free-flowing messages from the beyond, perfect for Halloween. In between, desires and communications intensify, while many a personal quest hits a dramatic turning point or end. Developments come with an air of finality, of dealing with issues one last time, of no turning back, despite most of the outer planets being retrograde. Navigating this environment requires adjustment after adjustment. The month has a whopping 8 inconjuncts, and taking advantage of the touchstones, backstops, and assists from recurring aspects to Saturn and his stabilizing properties. The first big event resonates throughout the month and into next year, the Libra new moon solar eclipse on October 2nd. It's the next to last eclipse in the Aries-Libra cycle that's been running since March 2023, which has been propelling us ever more to self-actualization and determination. This one is rebooting specific relationships and agreements, as well as ground rules in general, now charged with protectiveness, tenacity, and stability from an unimpeded trine from Mars to Venus to Saturn. Something, you may find, is actually worth fighting for. The aftermath puts your thinking and sense of self through some tweaking, with Mercury and the Sun in conjunct Saturn October 4th through 6th. Meanwhile, desires and relationships strengthen thanks to Venus completing her trine to order-loving Saturn, while Mercury square to Mars forces speaking up and out and putting words into action. Effort pays off. People get along and actually communicate. Relationships deepen. Feminine and masculine forces cooperate. When Venus trines Mars and Mercury trines Jupiter, October 8th. When in doubt, get in touch. The sensation of a turning point comes a few days before the middle of the month. Every outer planet is retrograde, briefly, when Jupiter stations retrograde October 9th. All but Saturn are widely in contact with each other, with Jupiter now amplifying the revelations, shocks, and clearings that teamwork is churning. During the brief mega retrograde, business as usual is not possible for relationships, desires, and perspectives. Venus in conjunct Jupiter requires making room for more. Fun, creativity, indulgence. Mercury in conjunct Uranus knocks thinking and messaging out of usual channels. Pluto stations direct October 11th, signaling his slow and final departure from Capricorn for our lifetimes. This move will gradually affect your experience of the foundational decay, collapse, and restructuring he's been churning out, most recently with the aid of Uranus and Neptune. The impact shows up in your thinking and information by the next day. Messages come immediately, though not necessarily in obvious form. Dreams and hunches shift your thinking, while conversations and ideas push you sideways into recognizing guidance, magical thinking, and deception as Mercury inconjuncts Neptune. Monumental moments follow. Life-altering realizations, or hard conversations, or cutting topics or streams or points of view entirely out of your existence, or all of the above. Then spooky season goes into high gear. Venus is nearing the end of her witchy ways in Scorpio, adding sexuality and personal stakes to the ongoing revelations of the Uranus-Neptune-Pluto collaboration. She touches them all mid-month, most noticeably bringing sweet anesthesia by heightening the magical vibe through a trine to Neptune. Meanwhile, with Mercury diving into Scorpio October 13, communications intensify, head for usually taboo or difficult topics, and rely less on actually speaking words. Looks convey meaning. Telepathy abounds. Even people who don't think of themselves as psychic can perceive undercurrents and peer into hidden places. On the surface, we're basically still sociable for a bit. You may in fact want more to do with your fellow humans, but on your own terms, with the Sun trining indulgent Jupiter and then squaring Mars October 13th and 14th. And then we're well and truly over it, although the definition of it will vary. The Aries full moon October 17th pits individual agency and agendas against relationships and agreements. With Pluto in the middle of the action as the focus of a T-square from the luminaries, dramas and anger are hurtling toward permanent transformation. Some change hits with a scalpel, some you may have some control over. Right after the full moon, Venus's sextile to Pluto, her larger-than-life counterpart in desire and money, opens the door to reshaping relationships, to gently unplugging some from life support, and to streamlining desires to what you want most deeply. And then, party mode arrives. Venus enters Sagittarius, still on October 17th, where she encourages laughter, optimism, cracking jokes, being philosophical, and heading for the great outdoors. And alas, turning focus to politics, which are nigh on inescapable. You might feel inclined to lighten up on the one-on-ones. Watch for a few shifts in your view of yourself, too. The Sun is doing a do-si-do with the Uranus-Neptune-Pluto collab October 19th through 22nd. The sequence puts you first through awakening, possibly joltingly so, in conjunct to Uranus, then suggests you ease up on yourself, in conjunct to Neptune. The factor in these equations that needs to adjust is you, because the two in conjunction form a finger of God pointing at, yes, you. May as well face the inevitable. Steadying information comes before the final step of the outer planet dance. Mercury trines Saturn October 22nd and makes mature, responsible conversation come easily, even to the point of taking accountability. Then we're each off into the deep, facing fears, accepting empowerment, and dropping worn-out bits of our identity. As the Sun squares Pluto from Libra to Capricorn for the last time in our lives, and then eases into the Dark Lord's realm of Scorpio. Our first tasks in his domain are decidedly above ground. Openings appear to take bold and unusual action, protecting your home, someone you love, when Mars sextiles Uranus October 24th. Maybe you'd benefit from casting a wider information net when Mercury inconjuncts Jupiter October 27th. Miracles are possible, no exaggeration, when Mars trines Neptune October 28th. You know exactly where to apply pressure or what tact to take. Action flows as if unseen hands are moving obstacles out of your path. Relationships feel the mojo. Venus's square to Saturn signals that it's time to take them seriously, to define them, to commit even. And if the reality check delivers a big negatory, consider that in your best interests. The month ends with appropriately otherworldly vibes. We're all honorary seers this season. Mercury's opposition to Uranus October 30th gives a glimpse of changes that aren't yet accessible. The month's last day proves true the belief that the veil is thin this time of year. Whether that's true in general, it's certainly true this time. Minds, conversations, and information channels have direct currents to all manner of intel and guidance. Intuition, dream messages, contacts with the other side. Ask for answers and trust what you get. I'm Kathy Beal, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years' experience. Visit my site, empowermentunlimited.net, to sign up for my mailing list, listen to my weekly podcasts, and book a session with me. I host lots of bonus content on patreon.com/Kathy Beal, and I'm really grateful to all the people who support my work there. I also host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio and TV on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. I have lively conversation on Facebook, on the page Empowerment Unlimited, and in the group, the Astro Insight Lounge. I post on Instagram and Threads at KABeal and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel.